He's like, it's a thing in our culture. We can't charge more than like 50% of what we paid for the food, so we can't like upcharge you. It's part of our culture. I'm like,
bro,
fucking sick. I'm going to eat
sick.
everything I'm buying is Somali, bro. I'm buying Somali products across the board. It's like, how much was that candy? 3 cents. It's like,
knock knock.
Who's there?
Woo.
Woo-hoo.
It's the Joystick Show. Joey's so excited. Oh my god.
Joey.
It's rare people woo-hoo.
Joey
in
pulled
real
the
life,
finger,
you know?
Yeah.
Why don't people woo-hoo more often, you know? You don't really hear that.
I yippee quite often.
You yippee?
And once in a while.
Are you a yippier?
Yippee ki
You don't strike me as a yippee kind of guy, you know?
Yeah, as a joke. Never like unironically.
But, like,
yippee.
I don't think I've ever heard you say yippee.
Where are the people, you know, when the guy hits the homer, they're like, woohoo! You don't hear that anymore.
I mean, it's more like, I think it's more like New York.
Yeah.
Like, if we were in like a Midwest state, I feel like this is a stupid conversation.
No, it's the fact that like our generation just has to simplify every fucking thing that we say, so we just shortened it to woo, you know?
Yeah.
It's not even woo-hoo anymore.
Now we don't even make noise.
Pretty soon it's going to be whoa.
My favorite is hey-o. I love that one. That one's my favorite one.
Hey-o.
Exactly. Like, anyway, welcome to the Joystick Show. Heyo! It's going to be a fun one, episode 196. Yeah, it's getting hard.
Yeah,
now. It's getting hard.
Well, after 200, we're good for like 24 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna remember every time.
We're set, yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Joystick Show. If it looks a little different, it's because we're still in the Reconstruction arc, and I
is a
almost
different
pulled
arc.
my fucking hair out setting this one up this week.
No longer reparations, but now we're on to
Yes.
Circle.
Before we get more into that, you know, YouTube stuff, make sure to go ahead and like, subscribe. That'd help us greatly. If you want to know what we're talking about, it's been next to my face while I've said the YouTube mumbo jumbo. So you can take a look.
Get it out of there.
Okay, it's coming. Sorry, it's bye. Okay. Right off the bat, like I said, this is gonna change in time. I don't think this is a set that we can continue. I'm gonna use the valid excuse that there is an immovable column literally behind the camera. We cannot move the camera any further than where it is right now. So we're gonna play around with it. One thing's for sure: this table staying. That's
I mean, the idea of the set is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the concept of what's going on is amazing. It's perfect.
You know, it's just we're working with what
Not
we got.
there yet.
We're gonna figure it out. All right. But until then, just stay tuned for more fun in the Reconstruction arc. And I just say that just in case the next episode looks set up a little differently. That's why we're still figuring things out. It's not 200 yet. All right. Lots of stuff to talk about. I'm really interested to know, honestly, what Dylan's up to.
Yeah,
Dylan went on a little adventure.
This is interesting. Yeah. I was in the beautiful state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was not.
You were next to it.
Yeah,
though.
I was next to it though. But I had to explain to my girlfriend what the geography was. Yeah. She was pretty off.
Dylan was in small Pepsi.
Yeah, I was in small.
You like that one, right?
Oh wow, yeah, that's a pretty good one. Yes. So my girlfriend got an all expenses paid trip to Minneapolis by Big Pharma. Love that shit. I love that vibe, which I wish I want to work for Big Pharma now. It's kind of evil, but at the same time, you get free stuff.
Yeah.
It's about, she works in GI, so it's about like, it's like a program type thing to help with people who like have stomach problems.
Poop a lot.
Yeah, or like random, this one was like people's stomachs that empty slow.
Yeah.
So it just causes everything else to fucking not work, you know? So they, basically taught a class on it. And so Thursday is when we flew in to beautiful Minneapolis, which I found out we were not staying in Minneapolis the entire time. It was on the outskirts because, most cities aren't huge. So it's not like New York City where it's like 5 boroughs or whatever.
But that's like one of those situations where it's like, for all sakes and purposes, you're in Minneapolis.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, you're either in one city or the other or in like the suburb, whatever. So, we'll like interlace some clips I took on my phone. Yo, what's up? Dylan on semi-vacation. You see I just got off the elevator? Let me show you this shit, all right? We're gonna walk down this hallway, right? There's a regular hallway. You got all the typical things you might have in a hotel. You have the conference rooms, you have like office, you have like a very fancy bathroom, for the corporate people, corporate guys, everyone's here. But if you keep walking through this doorway, give a little pull. Oh, weak. And now we're in a mall. Yeah. You know, it's not often that you can walk, you know, from a Marriott to an H&M.
Lit.
But we stayed at the JW Marriott, which was connected to the Mall of America.
Nice.
So you basically walk down a hallway, Bobby will show it, and then you're in the mall.
That
right?
sounds fun.
Fire.
Imagine going from the pool of your hotel and then walking like a minute and then you're in an H&M. It's like, what am I doing here, you know? But yeah, so essentially this trip was beautiful because not only did I get to spend some well-needed time with my girlfriend, but I also had to figure out what to do for 2 hours on a Thursday and then 6 hours on a Friday without my girlfriend in a fucking place I don't know what to do. So I went to the Nickelodeon universe, went on 4 roller coasters and then there was nothing else for me here. The best ride was a Pepsi themed ride.
Wow.
The Pepsi Orange Streak.
Okay.
I feel like they could have named it after anything.
It could have been like the Fanta orange.
I mean, it could have been even Nickelodeon, which is fucking orange, man. But no, we had to work in the Pepsi sponsorship.
Yeah.
In fact, the entire mall has like Pepsi signs everywhere. I think they just need the money.
Gotcha. Maybe Sun Kiss. I don't know which one Pepsi.
Exactly, yeah. I think that is Pepsi.
Crush.
Yeah.
One of them.
Anyways, highlights of the mall. Imagine Disney World, right?
Okay.
Put it in a mall.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's wild.
The mall is so big, in fact. It's the biggest mall in the world, right? So big that there's multiple of each stores. There's 2 Bath and Body Works. There's 4 Spencer's.
Wow.
Just
I
because
need to go to this mall. I've never been.
and then they have like this little like part where it's like all like restaurants. Fucking dead.
Man,
like no one goes there.
The
you
fucking
know?
convenience of like going to Spencer's and like not finding the poster you need,
And then
like,
going.
I'll just go to one of the other 3 Spencer's.
Spencer's
I gotta go to 3rd floor Spencer's.
Also,
Exactly.
not to go on too much of a tangent, but while you were in the greatest mall in America, I was at the Mall of Kings Plaza, and I walked past the Spencer's, and I felt like a wave of nostalgia. Like I almost wanted to go inside. I was like, man, what's in Spencer's?
Spencer's
now,
is
you know?
a beautiful place. It's like it's the same. In fact, I believe they didn't change their inventory. It's like the same sex toy and novelty shirt.
Lava
Maybe
lamps
they added more gamer references. The lingo has changed a bit from
I walked past the
2013.
Hot Topic, forgot it existed. I'm not even gonna lie.
Hot Topic still
Hot
exists.
Topic looks a lot different.
Yeah.
Totally forgot.
It's still the same.
Yeah.
Different, but the same. I will talk about some like general, highlights of my trip as well and things I learned about Minnesota, right? Number 1, not a lot of people have the accent.
Oh, the Minnesota kindness,
Oh,
don't
Minnesota,
you know?
don't you know? Not that often. No young people have it. It has to be someone like over 30 and they're like slightly overweight. Like that's yeah, or they're like rural,
So that accent's gonna fade in.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. 100% that
That's
accent's
a silly
going away.
accent.
It is.
silly.
Joey just hates. He's like, he goes on a tirade against.
Please talk funny still.
Joey's like, but it's hate. Joey's like, if you're from the northern Midwest or Canada and you don't talk that way.
It's also funny that like with Joey, it's not from a place of like preserving culture. It's just he wants to keep making fun of you guys. Please keep talking stupid.
Oh yeah,
Please.
absolutely. And it's like and also. A big reason for that is because Minneapolis and Minnesota has a big immigrant population. All the people from Minnesota, very white. But they also have the largest Somali population in the country.
Oh, wow.
And also just a lot of general Ethiopia, that kind of area of Africa. Every one of our Uber drivers was Somalian or Ethiopian, just to
Were they
work in there.
pirates?
Exactly. We were driving ships.
Yeah.
In a lake.
Driving boats.
We went to and since we found out about that, our goal was like we have to go to a Somali restaurant. Man, this was the most Somali fucking restaurant I've ever been in, and it was the best experience of my fucking life. So we walk in, right? Some guy looking like what's his name from Captain Phillips is like the main guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's there, and we're just like, yeah, 2, whatever.
I'm the waiter now.
Yeah. Literally, and he's like, literally, he took control of that ship immediately, and I thank fucking God. And he's just like, and we're like, we've never like had Somalian food, so like we want to have it like the traditional way. He's like, are you guys hungry? That's all he asked us. He asked us what we wanted. He's like, and then he just explained. He's like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that. Sit down. There's like a curtain, and like we sat in privacy. I was like, what the fuck is this? Comes out. He's like, here's our soup. You eat the soup before every meal. Best soup I've ever fucking had in my life.
Wow.
Brings out a banana, throws bananas at us. He's like, you eat the banana with the meal. Yeah, exactly. Bro, best fucking food I ever. It's like halal, but like better. That's the best way I describe it. And the sauce is like on the side. Yeah.
That sounds
That's
good.
the best way.
Sauce on the side.
Fire.
Yeah.
So Dylan went to mini Somali.
Yeah, in fact. And then after the entire thing, right, he brought out a pound of food, a pound of like rice and spaghetti. They eat spaghetti. Pretty fun. After all of this, we go up to pay. He's like, okay, $20.
No, my
And we're just like, what the fuck?
I was waiting for you to say he would charged you so much.
No, it's the fucking opposite. So we're like, there's no fucking way. And we're looking at the screen. There's like a light up screen of like the prices. It says meal for two, $36 on the screen. And we're like, damn, what the fuck is like, what's going, you know? And he's like,
you're just fucking pleasant.
yeah,
man.
and he was just like, oh, he was like, this was lovely. He's like, it's a thing in our culture. We can't charge more than like 50% of what we paid for the food, so we can't like upcharge you. It's part of our culture. I'm like,
bro, props.
fucking sick. I'm going to
Fucking
eat
sick.
everything I'm buying is Somali, bro. I'm buying Somali products across the board. It's like, how much was that candy? 3 cents. It's like, bro, I fucking unlocked the cheat code, guys.
That's the cheat
But honestly,
code.
very hospitable people. The other restaurant I went to, but to you know, because food's the most important part,
Right.
is I went to a Native American restaurant.
Oh shit.
The Sioux Chef, it was called. Get it? Because the Sioux Indian. Sioux.
S-I-O-U-X.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
He was like award-winning chef and just decided to make like Hispanic and like French dishes, but with like Native American ingredients. Yeah, so like elk taco, that sort of
Oh,
thing.
shit.
Yo, everything was slapped. Like everything was incredible. Like random. What's so funny?
I'm just imagining like he just takes these dishes and he puts like a little like tomahawk.
Joey, it's fucked up.
No, I'm just
That's
like, okay.
fucked up.
I was curious to see what
Yeah,
he
actually,
adds to the
I
dishes.
mean, yeah.
This isn't like a Native American fast food chain.
no, I know what I mean, but
We
he's
went-
taking
we went
dishes
to-
that he said that
Literally went to Apache Chiefs Burgers,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? No, but he was like, you know, it's pretty much just like a reimagining of different dishes, but like, you know, they use, no colonial ingredients, right? So nothing's processed, no cane sugar,
Gotcha.
no flour from like big corporations,
Can't
right?
use George Washington's
Exactly.
teeth.
And despite and because of all of this, there's a big bold thing on the back that says because we want to pay our workers, right? And because we use all these ingredients from people of color,
Keep talking, I
Hispanic,
just
right?
realized our lights off again. Sorry. Keep going. Do your
Yeah.
thing.
And so we're like, okay. So he's like, because of this, we charge a 13% service tax.
Okay.
Not the bill, not the tip, not anything. Just 13% because hey, we pay our workers more, right? Well, some guy from Minnesota was like, today's not the day, you know?
Oh, shit.
Today was not the day that you're gonna pull a fast one on this guy. Because we just noticed some fucking commotion happening behind us. And me and Mariotti
shit.
cannot mind our fucking business. We just look over, we're like, what the fuck
Staring
is
at
that?
them.
And this is the most polite yet angriest person. Like, people in Minnesota, they don't get angry. Like, I don't think someone in Minnesota could, like, get, like, angry, you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, if they killed someone, it's on accident or it was, like, a split second. Like, I don't believe they could actually do it. Because this guy was, like, fuming, but you really couldn't tell. It just kind of sounded...
Please.
Yeah, like, well, not even that. He was just kind of like, oh, man, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. You know, like that. And I'm like, you don't sound that upset, but this guy was fucking pissed, right?
Like you see him getting red.
And yeah. And he's just like mad. He's like shaking his head. He's like doing all these unnecessary movements and movement. Like instead of throwing something, you'll be like, like move it, you know? And he's like, I want to talk to the manager. And then our waiter goes over there and he's like, hey, I'm the bar manager. He's like, no, you're not. Like he didn't believe that he was the manager. He's like, well, there's a kitchen manager and then there's a bar manager.
Yeah.
That's me. And he's like, no, no, it's not.
No.
And it was just the funny, like, this guy was so mad right now. Like, he just kept repeating that. He's like, I'm so mad. I'm so angry. Like, so me and Mariotti the
It's
whole
like
trip.
Dylan was in some fake place.
Yeah,
Like, what the
it's like, and then we get our bill, right? After all of this, right? And, like, even the waitresses are, like, kind of, like, flustered by this. Like, it's like as if someone just, like, shot up the place, you know? They're, like, very, like, shaken. We get our bill as our waitress hands it to us. It's a fucking $9 fucking thing. And they were 3 people, so this guy was really arguing over, like, $11 on his bill.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you really have to, like, stop the place from
Sad
operating.
The worst day of his
Or,
life.
Worst day of his
And
life.
I was like,
That's $11.
11
okay?
fucking dollars.
that's that buys half of an Ethiopian meal. Somali, my bad. We also had Ethiopian.
I'm telling
food.
ladies and gentlemen.
We also had Ethiopian food to close it out, right?
Gotcha.
And you know it's a good place when you open the door and just a bunch of Ethiopian people look at you and smile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
You're home.
I'm home. I'm not. I'm definitely not. But
Dylan's
I'm gonna
home.
eat. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna eat well. Yeah.
I'm glad you
That's
had a
fucking.
good trip.
That's
bro.
Sick.
Minnesota.
Sounds fun.
I bought all of you guys stuff from like random stuff from Minnesota. I also bought some of you guys stuff from Puerto Rico. I just keep forgetting it. So
Puerto Rico?
you guys are gonna get a mishmash of snacks and Puerto Rican stuff.
I'm excited.
So
Yay.
Bobby knows one of two things he's getting is gonna be an ashtray.
You know it.
Yeah, so.
That's fine.
Sick.
I'm excited for my collection. All right, sounds good.
Indeed.
How many do you have now?
Indeed.
Like different
Ashtrays,
countries.
it's over 25 probably.
Sick.
Yeah,
Yo, you gotta show off the collection.
I got some funny ones. It's funny because like every time I go to a place,
Yeah.
in my head I'm like, what's like the ashtray that they make for this place? You
Uh-huh.
think like I'm a creative person, so I can come up with it what it is, So then I go
What's
on a mission
the
to find it, and like 9 times out of 10 I find it. It's so fun. But last time I went to Orlando, I told myself I wasn't leaving until I got a Disney Castle ashtray because I found it hilarious, and I fucking found it.
You found
I
it.
found it.
I need to see it.
Yeah, I'll show you.
You gotta find the most like childish movie that's made. Is it like I want like
I'm starting getting like cars ashtray.
not even like
Toy Story.
What's up, Bluey?
Bluey
That
ashtray.
shit goes hard, bro.
Oh my
Throw it up.
Bro, kind of on the topic, I wanted to speak about something that I thought was fucking sick.
Okay.
I don't remember their name, so I'll put it up there. Shout outs. This is a YouTube channel. Basically, this guy makes really, really dope videos about comic books, but less about like the stories and like the heroes or whatever, and more about the history behind the production of them and things like that. And they do it very, very well. He put out a video recently that it's titled something along the lines of like the most what's the word, like the most inspirational comic book artist who stayed anonymous for years or something like that.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, this is interesting.
Mystery.
The way the video even starts out is with a story about how this American sailor visited Japan and met this young Japanese guy. They became friends, and before the sailor sailed back to America, the Japanese man, who was a gifted artist, gave him a gift of a drawing he made of the sailor. And then as a return gift, the sailor gave him a stack of his American comic books, which they didn't have in Japan. And this is probably back in like the 30s, 40s, maybe 50s, I don't know. But point is, you come to find out later that Japanese guy is actually the guy who created Astro Boy and is considered like the father of manga. And where the video goes from there is they talk about his comic book collection and the comics that most inspired him.
Oh shit.
And you find out that it's not like superhero comics from Marvel or DC. It wasn't like crime comics. It was actually Disney comics.
Okay.
And more specifically, the Donald Duck comics.
I think I heard this.
And then the story goes to unravel further, and you go to find out that people like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg were inspired by the Donald Duck comics. And if you like watch their movies, things like boulder chases are ripped right from the pages of these stories that were written. If you come to find out that Matt Groening was inspired by Duckburg, which was created in the Duck comics, and went on to make his own version in Springfield with The Simpsons. So just like crazy shit.
Cardi
like that,
B
right?
at the age of 3.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Took his speech.
And to even like further that
That's
point,
crazy,
I found
actually.
out that at one point the Donald Duck comics were the second most subscribed to periodical in the United States, only second to Reader's Digest, and outsold every single newspaper in the United States.
What the fuck?
Why is Mickey Mouse the face of this? If that's the,
That's a good question. So you come to find out basically that these comics are like really good. Like they're well written. The stories are incredible. The drawings are done really well. And for years, people were trying to figure out who was responsible for the Donald Duck cartoons, the comics. But the problem was back then, Disney, as a company, tried to keep this charade going that whenever anybody tried to ask, they wanted all of their readers, especially their young readers, to believe that Walt Disney himself was behind everything.
Yeah,
So whenever
every
people
single
would,
book.
they'd be like, Walt makes all the comics and all the cartoons, even though people were, it was very clear.
He had a
couldn't do
whole
it.
fucking,
Exactly.
he had a
It's
whole
him.
operation.
He's like on the floor.
Basically through a trick. where a comic fan wrote into Disney. Keep in mind, this is like in the 50s, so it's like a super long time ago. This isn't like recent.
Okay.
Writes into Disney and he's like, hey, I think he basically wanted to offer an award or something to Disney for the comics, but needed his name. And through that, they tricked Disney into giving them a name. And they found out that the guy his name is Carl Barks. And he was this really just like a 60-year-old dude who had been trying to be a cartoonist his whole life and finally got a job at Disney when he was like 35. And he remained nameless for like 30 years and nobody knew him. And it wasn't until that interview that people were like, that him himself, he was like, people like them? Like, he didn't even know. And he got like instantly famous. His whole dream as a kid was he wanted to travel the world. So that's why the books are so adventurous, because it's them going all over the place. And finally, at like 90 years old, he was able to go around the world and stuff like that.
Damn.
And it was this really cool, like, this story where even he talks about it. He's like, it's just weird because it's like I spent like 30 years of my life in my house just making these comics by myself, and I got paid like, however much I got paid per book, but I would have never knew that it would have got to this. But at the same time, he was grateful that he didn't know, because he wouldn't have spent those 30 years making the books in the first place. So he's like, it all works out for a reason. So I was like, damn. He's like a normal like Southern farmer guy, and he ended up being like the one of the world's most pivotal artists.
I mean, like one of the best too, from what it sounds like.
And to wrap it up in a nice little bow, what I thought was really cool and just escaped my head as I said the bow part. Jesus Christ.
Is it about a theme park?
Is it about a theme park? No, hold on. I got this. You got this, Bobby. Oh, yeah. Sorry. The whole thing I wanted to wrap up with.
There you go.
So his name is Carl Barks, but one thing that was really, really funny that they refer to many times is, like I said, for years and years and years.
It also sounds like a pen name, too.
No, nobody knew who this guy was, so he had a moniker. So for years, even after they found out who he was, just want to say, rest in peace to Carl Barks, a.k.a. the Duck Man. So,
the Duck Man.
Fucking shout-outs. Great story.
He sounds cool. When you told me that he was like, people liked him, I was imagining Disney held him in a basement and like they finally freed him and he was like, what? My work is acknowledged? But that's really dope.
That happens a lot with artists. Like, they go to a different country, like,
and they realize,
like sometimes like songs will just go #1 in foreign countries, and the artists won't know, and then they'll go there and be like, "What the fuck is like what?"
Like Bruno Mars in Japan, right?
Yeah. Well, even then, like artists that aren't famous.
It's like Ricky Gervais in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking about that.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that Donald Duck thing before we leave in Twisted?
Yeah.
In Japan, I think it was this year or last year, they remodeled the entire Disney park and they called it like Year of the Donald Duck. So there's no reference to Mickey. And I wondered how much money that cost, because every lamp, every like sewer grate, everything, even like the badges on the police uniforms have all been switched to Donald Duck. And the parades featured women dressed as Donald Duck, people in more duck costumes. And I was like, how long did this go for? And
I mean,
like,
they probably did it because like the attendance was down or
I'll
something.
tell you what, though, if anybody can do it, it's fucking Disney.
Yeah, word.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Disney Japan is actually popping off because I guess people are now realizing their rides use a lot more animatronics than the Orlando Disney. So they're like, "Whoa, shit! I think Disney Japan got it going on."
It's more Japan-y.
Tokyo.
Speaking of Japan, how's the Puerto Rican Day Parade?
It was fun. This was my first time attending the Puerto Rican Day Parade. I think my parents, after the whole Puerto Rican Day Parade scandal in 2000, they were kind of like, yeah, we don't need to like really take them. We could watch it on the news. But we went this year. We witnessed the parade. We got off at 53rd and watched it from St. Patrick's Cathedral. And it was me, my parents, my godparents, and my girlfriend. And we managed to climb onto this railing they had, like one of those like barricades. And we stood up there. We saw the whole parade. Like, no people in our way, no shoving. It was perfect.
About how many times did you say Boricua today?
I'll be honest. I think maybe 6.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because a lot of people scream it at us. I'm halfway through the parade, I stopped screaming because I was like, I'm gonna lose my fucking voice, because it's just a lot of people waving and going, wah!
And you're like, "What?"
And you're like, back, just screaming at flags, low key. You're just screaming at flags. I have this mask I bought from this artist. It was a Jason Voorhees mask with a Taino symbol on it, and I wore that.
I think I saw that.
Yeah, word.
I saw the person selling it.
I wore it to the festival, and my parents were like, "Why are you gonna wear that? That's like Jason has nothing to do with Puerto Rican. And I was like, it's not about Jason. It's the symbols that are on the mask. It just so happens to look like a hockey mask. And I got mad compliments from it. Like, as I, like people on the parade, people on floats pointing at me and then like pulling out their camera. And apparently they're remaking like Menudo, like a whole new boy band. They like, and the boy got off his float to run over to these girls waving the flag, and they were cheering with them, and then looked at me and was like, your mask is cool, and then ran right back up his float. And then I looked at Nicole, I was like, the new Menudo likes
That's
me.
cool. It's Menudo, but it's like N-E-W.
It's a Menudo.
Menudo.
I'm dead.
Or maybe it's Menudo.
I had fun playing with words.
That's way better, yeah.
Menudo.
Oh my gosh, but it was fun. One float. Literally, all these guys look like they can be our tios, Bob. Like, I see all of them. They all kind of have that look. And one of them, he looks at me. He goes, yo, shout outs to the fucking Puerto Rican Michael Myers.
Joey was like, hey.
That's hysterical.
I ignored it, man. Like,
yeah, that's
Theo's be trying to be the light of the party, laugh, make people laugh, and they get shit wrong sometimes.
Well, it's never. Well, I don't think it's ever a correct joke. You know, it never is. It's just like
it's never correct. It's just kind of like, yo, it's like this so and so, and we laugh because it's like we get what they were trying to say, but no.
That's lit.
But it was fun. I had a lot of fun for it being my first time. I spoke to my parents. I was like, would we do this again? And they were like, we'd do it again. Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Shout out to those proud Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, word.
Shout out to the PP.
How do you make a Puerto Rican louder than a Puerto Rican? Give a microphone. Start doing racist Puerto Rican. I am Puerto Rican. That's
A Puerto Rican walks into a bar. It's me.
You're Puerto Rican?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would like to say that I had a similar experience to Joey today. I also got off at 53rd Street.
Yeah.
I went up to the Puerto Rican parade. I did not want to be at the Puerto Rican.
Dylan's like 10% Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
It's rubbed off on you.
It's kind of at this point.
I was just trying to get to work today. I didn't mean to be in the parade for a second. I was like, hey, and they were like, behind the barricade. I was like, all right, I'll wait.
Dylan was just trying to get to work. He's on a float.
Yeah,
He's like, what the fuck?
Que bonita bandera.
Almost damn. But yeah, it was interesting to see a bunch of people with like honestly, my coworker literally showed up. Like he came in late with the Puerto Rican flag around his body. I was like, bro, come on, you can't even say you were late because of the parade. He's like, I know, I was at the parade.
I was there.
And it was just funny to be like, is everyone coming in? A lot of people in the Puerto Rican baseball jersey who definitely do not know how to play baseball.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, very common. And a lot of people smelling like weed coming in to my job.
That's my people.
Yeah.
That's my people.
Yeah. Indeed.
Fucking, I was also going to say, anytime I hear Menudo, for whatever reason, it gives me flashbacks to when the three of us went to Blood Manor.
Yeah.
And we went into one of the dark rooms, and a very flamboyantly dressed black gay man was following us around a haunted house we paid to go to and was just saying, ooh, look, it's Menudo. Menudo walked in. And I just remember thinking, like, is this a haunted house or are we just getting fucking bullied? Like,
I mean, then, yeah, I think that is, like...
Is that part of it?
Yeah,
is that
I think
part
it
of the
is.
fucking experience?
I think Blood Manor is so shit that it was like, we gotta do
gotta
something.
do something.
We gotta... We're not
You're
scaring
fat.
people.
Look at you, fat ass.
They're like, oh, that didn't work. Bitch.
Yeah, word.
You're a slut.
It's been years since we went to Blood Manor, but I can
No.
recall it.
I mean, it's worse now,
It's
I think.
pretty bad. Yeah.
It's still out there?
It's
Yep.
still there.
What?
They keep
They
changing
survived
locations.
COVID?
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
Mhm.
We should go every year.
We should go. You know what? Can we
Chronicle
go this year?
time. Chronicle
down.
Just to
time.
review
I'm
it.
down to
Let's
go.
go
Just to
review
be like,
for
what's-
October. We'll go review Blood Manor. I'm down.
I like it.
Fuck.
I like it.
Shit, I was gonna say something else. I was gonna mention a little bit of internet lore got discovered recently, and it blew my mind, man.
All right.
You guys are familiar with the Backrooms photo?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
They found it, man.
Yeah, it just took finding a bunch of basements that look like that and being like, this is. I like to think that they found like a million basements that it looked like it, and then they were like, oh, this ain't it. This
Someone's
ain't
like,
it.
I found it, and no one's like, no.
The wall's different.
This is a
Dude,
fake.
It's not.
I watched a video about like the communal search that went into
Yeah.
like finding this place, and it was just breathtaking.
It was,
I was
yeah.
like, when the internet comes together for stupid shit like that,
They solve crimes, they find
They can
people.
solve crime.
thing.
They've
Dude.
solved many crimes.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, it's with everything. It's like, are you going to
How
use
many
it for
people-
good or are you going to use it for evil?
Exactly.
You know?
But what I was going to mention is, if you're not familiar, there's a very famous picture on the internet. It's called the Backrooms photo. That's what it looks like.
Led to a creepypasta.
It's supposed to be this like liminal space.
You can't escape.
A24 is making a movie about it. It's coming out in theaters next year. This shit is impactful. Okay.
Wow, I didn't know that. Actually.
Yeah. So it all spawned from like, I don't know where it got leaked originally. Probably like 4chan.
Yeah, it started off as like a 4chan post, and then it just turned into a bunch of copy pastas about like, oh,
I'm stuck.
out. Yeah,
It's scary here.
I've been walking for 80 hours.
For years, people have been trying to figure out like what this place is. Lo and behold, I think the way they found it out was like somebody in their Discord found a tweet from like 2009. Like that's how old this tweet was.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the old Twitter format when it was Twitter and all that shit. And it's not even the tweet. It's like a reply to it in the comments all the way down. And it's a guy who had a link to the original photo. Like he had like whoever sent the picture, he had that link. So when he posted it, what they were actually able to find out was not only did they find a second photo of it from a different angle, which was interesting, which is the only time they had found a different angle, they found like the metadata of the photo. And through that, they were able to basically crack down that the pictures belonged to a hobby shop in Wisconsin in like 2002. And that was like it. Like they found it out, you know, like, the case was cracked. I thought that was interesting. But what further, like the next step to it that made me go like, damn, these people were fucking way too into this. The guy who made this video that I'm talking about, also his shtick is apparently he's just like devoted to finding these like liminal spaces in real life. So this guy's like very knowledgeable in it. His original theory was that the Backrooms, the location was a furniture store. And that was like his original theory. He like tried to back it up with a bunch of facts, so that when he found out it was a hobby shop, he was like, oh man, like I thought it was a furniture store. But then he started thinking, and he was like, it was probably a newer business. What was it before? So this motherfucker took the address of the hobby shop, ran it in a search engine through like Ancestry newspapers, and was able to find like a newspaper listing from like the 1950s of the furniture store when it was a furniture store. And if that's not enough, they have black and white photos
of the
in the newspaper of the Backrooms.
That's incredible.
But like filled with like cabinets and sofas.
That's incredible.
So it's just like the history that goes behind this is fucking stupid.
I'm just amazed at the guy to know that and be like, it's a furniture store.
No, and
then he got it wrong and he was like, oh man, can't get them all. And then further looking, I'm imagining like staring like in those like the Discover movies, like they're trying to figure out, like Nicolas Cage staring really deeply. Wait a minute.
I mean, I think Bobby, based on his talking points, has proved to us that we're now a internet rabbit hole podcast.
Probably.
like this because that's like half of my YouTube. Honestly,
I've
that's
been
like
very
if I didn't watch
interested.
sports, that would be it. Right? Like that'd be that and true crime.
I have a quick sports tangent real quick.
Okay.
Cool. And it has nothing to do with sports.
Okay.
It's just something I thought of earlier.
All right.
If you want to call me an idiot and dismiss it, we can, and we can move on to the next thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how basketball players, they're ballers?
Mm-hmm.
So are hockey players puckers? Are they pucking? Think about it.
I think that makes sense.
They're not balling, they're
I
pucking.
mean, I kind of like gooning.
Is that the actual...
No, it's not. But goon is like the people who fight.
Gotcha.
So it's just like if you're being a little rough housing.
I don't know. I think we gotta start the pucking, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, I don't pucking out
I'm
there.
sure.
Dog.
I'm sure that exists. Like hockey merch. Like I don't give a
pucking.
puck.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a puck. Puck off. Like that's definitely a thing.
There's
bro.
definitely a shirt somewhere.
Puck man. That's the Karl Barks.
Okay.
Man. Fucking. Also, Dylan watched movies on the plane. You
yes,
have to share.
I have a fucking tangent. I have something I'm actually really mad about.
Upset?
I'm very upset. So my first thing, I'm looking through, and I see something on Delta's thing that I feel like wasn't there the last time I flew, and that was Game Breakers. I think that's what it's called, Game Changers maybe. It's like the Alex Trebek game show documentary where everyone in it is dead now. And I was like, yo, I gotta watch this shit. So it was like basically a documentary.
I don't even think I've seen that.
So it's a documentary from like 2016, 2017, where Alex Trebek just sits down with like Monty Hall from Let's Make a Deal. Just all of these like old timey, going back to like the 40s, like the origins of game shows. And it's incredible. And it's like also a retrospective because they're all dead, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it was super interesting. After that, I decided to watch The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
With Henry Cavill. Again, I don't know how it happened, but it's again an action movie in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. on the plane back, right back, I decided to watch the new Mission Impossible. And then they're like, Simon Pegg's like, we're going to Italy. I'm like, fuck!
So you managed to watch The Equalizer 3, Mission Impossible 6, and The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
All of which are action movies that take place
How
in
great would it have been if
different regions.
Trebek was like, we're going to go to Italy to fucking
like,
talk
I honestly, I was like, I honestly turned on UFC halfway through that movie because it was like UFC ESPN or whatever was on, and you get live TV on the plane, and I was like, if they're in fucking Italy,
Welcome to UFC 302 for the first time coming to you in Venice.
Everybody's just twirling their mustaches.
I would be so mad. People are in boats in the crowd, like.
That's wild.
Oh my god! No, I was like, I was so mad. I was like, I even didn't want to watch the movie. I was like, can they please leave Italy? I'm tired of every action movie being in Italy, and it might not even be filmed there. It's just like, oh, it's Italy.
About to just recommend you a shit ton of action movies.
How many are there?
I can think of a couple. Actually,
there's a lot.
There's one Fast and Furious, Skyfall. There's fucking 6 Underground.
I feel like a lot of 007s are
one of the murder mystery movies.
Spider-Man: Far From Home is in Italy.
Look at that.
Is it actually?
It is. 100%.
Oh wow.
And that probably segues greatly into the movie that he saw.
Yeah, I got to rewatch No Way Home, the biggest Spider-Man movie in the past like few years. Well, aside from Spider-Verse, but it was the one with the 3 Spider-Men in it. So Nicole's never watched it. My girlfriend Nicole's never watched it, and she always tells me I feel like I missed out because like I see the clips online.
She did.
And I was like, you did, low key. But for the 100th anniversary of Columbia Pictures, every Monday since like April, they were showing a different Spider-Man film. And this was the final one, which was No Way Home. So Nicole and I went to go see it. The whole theater was packed. Like even the seats like right in the front. The entire theater was packed. So it kind of made me remember like how it felt like day one when we went to go see it opening night. And Nicole, like when all the big moments were happening, I felt like Nicole was the only one like, oh, because she was late.
In the movie, yeah.
But people were still cheering, like in those big moments. Like spoiler, when Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come out of their portals,
they're in that movie.
Yeah, I even was like, holy shit!
Are they the other 2 Spider-Men?
Yeah.
You telling me the jockey of Seabiscuit is in this movie?
Yeah.
Telling me the guy from Tick Tick Boom is Spider-Man?
Yeah. No, but Nicole enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed watching it again with fans, and it being now 3 years after like the hype has like died, and I'm like, let me just watch this for the plot, like just see, is it a good movie? And in my opinion, I think it manages to be a good movie in the fact that it takes the plot of all the other movies and intertwines it very well. One thing I noticed on my watching after 3 years was the Sandman helps Tom Holland's Peter fight Jamie Foxx's Electro because he sees his suit inside out, and since it's black, he assumes it's Toby's symbiote costume. And I was like, I never realized that. Because he talks to him, hey, Peter, like, who is this guy? Like, I'll help you.
Oh, gotcha.
And the only reason he's saying that is because he's thinking it's the third.
Inside Out suit.
Really, like, if you're a big fan of the movies, if you grew up with, like, the movies, it's really cool to see how all of them blended really well. Yeah. And Willem Dafoe's performances, as well as the guy who plays Doc Ock, I keep forgetting.
Alfred Molina.
Thank you. They're so theatric. Like, you could tell. I wrote in my Letterboxd review, it was like, not only were they pulled from their movies, it was like they were pulled from their time period. Like they never changed. Mm-hmm. Like it was like you took exactly that person.
Peter.
And it was great. Super, super dope movie. I'm glad to have rewatched it again.
Spider-Man.
I have to go back and rewatch that. Didn't they do like a extended cut or something like that?
They did, and nothing was really important added. Just little jokes.
Yeah, I remember they were like hyping it up for man long, right?
Nope, it was just
12 minutes of bonus content.
12 minutes.
And literally the 12 minutes is just awkward silence because they thought it was funny.
Spider-Man comes back from the dead and he high-fives Spider-Man.
It's like when you 100% a game. It's like, you got this handshake.
Sick.
Cool.
Bro, fucking.
What have you been?
Yeah, I was about to say, Jerry, you want to talk about
Yeah,
it?
let's close it out with some
I mean, I didn't have that fun, that crazy of a weekend. I mean, we went out for Joey's birthday for...
It's my birthday.
Yeah, not your birthday.
We hung out at
your graduation.
Dominion.
The double, Joey and Tati.
The Double.
Yeah. I've never been there at that spot.
You never been to
but,
Lenny's?
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you?
Yeah.
Top row.
Eating the clams?
Yeah.
Well, besides that, I mean, I've just been playing like Tunic.
How many times have you been to Lenny's?
Me a lot.
No, him.
My family stopped going. My Aunt Kathy had like a vendetta against him for whatever reason, so it's been a while.
Bro, we were literally talking about this on the way there. I was like, there's somebody out there that goes to Lenny's and he's like, man, I need a clam. I'm going to go to Lenny's, bro. And then I was like, there's somebody else that's like, I need a clam. But I fuck Lenny's, bro.
That's my aunt. That's my aunt. I still don't know what they did to this woman. They probably did nothing to her, but she's like, we can't go there. We cannot, Dylan. Dylan, we can't fucking go. I'm like, why? What happened?
I like to think your Aunt Kathy went to like try to find the bathroom, and she actually stumbled in the kitchen. It's being run by a giant clam named Lenny. It's like, hey, we need to keep the fucking order. She's just traumatized.
Some SpongeBob shit.
I don't know, man. I love going
Big
in there.
Clam.
It says David Wright on the.
No, it's just like all like bodybuilders you don't know, like old wrestlers I don't recognize. Like, we ate a Lenny's. It's like, okay.
Yeah, where that's their wall, just old wrestlers.
Hey guys,
that-
there's also celebrities. There's also.
I think Adam Sandler was there.
Yeah,
I believe it.
a lot of Italianos.
Yeah, new Paaks right there.
New Paak.
Bro, you know what's another thing you can steal as your own thing?
Oh, what?
How about that Xbox show?
Oh, the Xbox show. I actually didn't watch that much of it. I was in
Way
Sunmarket.
to go, Jerry.
But what did I go back for? I went back for, you said there was like a card shooter or something like that?
Yeah, it's like a first-person shooter
Yeah, I
with
forgot.
cards.
It was something
damn.
weird.
So
It was
you like
like
Gambit?
No, it was
it's
like you change the
playing
rules.
cards. You can change
Yeah.
the rules, and you get like I don't know how it works. It was a pretty brief trailer, but it kind of gives you the vibe that you could pick it pre-game and then use it like once per match, like as an ultimate type thing. But like you could change anti-gravity and everybody's on the ceiling, crazy shit like that.
Cool.
But it looks weird. But there were like way bigger announcements, like
Yeah.
fucking Xbox really just got all of their old IPs and was like, we're just gonna make everything.
yeah.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah,
Perfect,
they're making every game. Yeah.
Fable,
Gears
and
of
then
War.
Gears of War was
I mean,
like
yeah,
the
these
huge
are. I
one.
mean, the fact it's exciting because it's like those were all games that like I put so many fucking hours into. Like the amount of times I got STDs in Fable 2, like endless, bro.
And for what it's worth, like
Endless.
I don't want to be dramatic, but I do think it's gonna change the course of the console war coming up pretty soon. Because Sony's gonna have to come up with some like, because everybody says it, like Sony's exclusives are good, but they don't fucking do anything with them. You know, they always try to do this new stuff, but like Xbox really came out and they were like, oh, you know, all these exclusives people wanted back, they're back, and they look great.
They do look great.
So buy the fucking Xbox to play these games, you know.
Yeah.
So
And everyone was like, maybe
we'll think.
Maybe.
when they
Think
come
about
out
it.
and they're
We'll
good, we'll
check
buy
them
it.
first.
Yeah.
But point is, I think not only Sony, I think Nintendo also got to be doing some shit to
Yeah.
fight
Nintendo's
They have a
been
console
like
coming soon,
Zelda.
Huh?
Yeah, they just Zelda.
Well, they said
everything.
that like this is like the last year of the Switch.
Ah.
Like it's ending its console life, so the next console's probably gonna be.
Damn. So
next
what
year.
was the Switch game? It was Smash Brothers, right?
Yeah, it had to
Yeah,
be.
Mario
I
Kart.
said Mario Maker, but that's like kind of niche. Like you have to be into like making the maps.
They
and,
made
like,
two
doing-
big Zelda games, and they're like,
Yeah,
peace.
the Zelda games
Yeah,
are up
Zelda
there.
was
I'd
the
actually even
Switch.
argue New Leaf was giant. Like
Yeah,
everybody was playing that
you're totally
fucking
right.
game. Like kids, girls.
Oh,
guys,
new,
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, yeah,
Everybody was
yeah.
playing
I was
that
playing
shit.
New Leaf.
They hadn't
man.
come out with a new one in like 10 years, some shit like that,
Yeah.
basically.
Mhm.
Bro, I know like jock dudes that my brother was friends with who played the original GameCube fucking
New
Yeah.
Animal
Oh,
Crossing.
Bro, what are we
console thing.
talking about? The Switch game was F-Zero 99, bro. That was the Switch.
Yeah, right.
But you know, shouts to games coming out. Also, the Xbox show ended with the official Black Ops 6 Direct, which got me a little bit hyped for Call of Duty again. Can't believe this is happening. It's almost like these things come out every fucking year.
Yeah, I can't get hype about. I'll buy it when it comes out. But
It was
I
just
can't.
really
Yeah.
refreshing to see them actually giving a fuck not only about the campaign, but equally the multiplayer and equally the zombies. Like round-based zombies is back. The multiplayer looks really cool. Granted, they didn't get to show a lot about that, but the movement system looks really dope.
I like the movement
Have this
system.
new omnidirectional movement system where you could like sprint in every direction now. You can sprint backwards, sprint sideways. You can dive and turn around. It's gonna be weird. I don't know, but I'm down to check it out. Looks pretty fun. Shout outs to games. I don't have any.
Yeah, shout outs to celebrations, shout outs to vacations.
Speaking of Lenny's, do you
Life.
think that they got some shady shit going down? Because when it came down to paying, like my parents put out the card and they were like, "We don't accept card." And remember, they were like, "What do you mean you don't accept card?" And it was like, "No, for big payments like this, we don't accept card." And my father had to like leave the place because he didn't have that much cash on him. And we were like waiting. Everyone left, and we was just like my family just waiting for my dad to get back. And we were all wondering like, why do you need it in cash? We were like, what's the deal with this?
Probably has something to do with your aunt.
I mean,
It's all getting connected.
I mean, like
What
they
did
probably do that with everyone.
Yeah.
Like they were like, it's like they have to pay if it's like over a certain amount with the vendor.
You know what? This might come back to bite me in the ass, but fuck Lenny's and fuck Big Clam. All right. We don't need that shit in our lives.
Honestly, like the entire like clam mussel oyster game overrated.
yeah.
Like all like, what are we doing? Get the shell. Like I know it's called.
shellfish.
I know it's called shellfish. But no.
No,
I know
big
that
muscle.
different. No.
Anyway,
Different shell.
You know what time it is, Dill?
Jam, man, bam, yam, man.
Something like that.
Slam,
you
bam,
got
yam,
like
yam.
3 out of 8.
Slam,
there.
bam, jam, yam.
All right.
Slam a jam, a bam.
Somebody else go, because I actually have no fucking
Slam
clue.
a jam, a bam.
I'll start mine. My slam comes from my Discover Weekly while I was cleaning my room.
Always.
It's called Hawaii 6-0 by Blighttown. It kind of gives me Gavin Dance vibes back when they were like really like pumping. And I think they're fairly new, this band. I don't know. I don't know much about the band. It just popped up, and out of all the songs that I was just going through, this one stuck out to me.
Fire.
My yam of the week is Out of Step by Born Without Bones. This band toured in New York like a year ago, and I'm sad I didn't go because they're very good. They're very good. They have like a 90s type of vibe. This album is more of like a strict like mid-2000s emo vibe, but a lot of their other stuff kind of sounds like 90s-ish. It's good.
Cool.
Banger.
My bam of the week is it's off Kate Trinata's new album called Timeless. The song is called Feel Away with Don Toliver. It's actually a really chill song for either of them.
Very true.
Yeah, so it's like pretty chill song.
Have you heard Witchy with Donald Glover or Childish Gambino?
I haven't. I've only gotten like a little like halfway through it, and there's 2 discs on this
That
album.
one's my favorite so far. That shit is a vibe. That one
Keep
almost
trying.
I'm gonna actually do the classic. It's been a while since I've done the classic. The little double shout out. You know where one is actually.
Yeah.
in
Oh
it.
shit.
I'm gonna first. Actually, I'm gonna do the triple A. I'm gonna do the triple A right here. You ready?
I think you just didn't have a yam and triple A. You can't decide.
Because this one is actually one I couldn't pick because it's a yam.
Oh.
And it's a song that I rediscovered. So shout outs to Rumble by Skrillex. Because that song.
that background like
Killers in the
oof.
Jungle. No, the song I wanted to shout out, I've been listening to it a bunch, is the song Scared Money by Stolly, just because that's the rap song that features Kevin Durant on it. And, and I went back to re-listen to it, and I was like, okay, it's a good fucking song. Like, I'll vibe to it. The actual song I'm picking for my Jam of the Week is Places to Be by Fred Again, Anderson .Paak, and CHIKA, which they posted a fucking fire-ass YouTube video on Fred Again's YouTube channel where him and Anderson .Paak do a live performance of the song where they both play drums. They're both going ham. Fucking Anderson .Paak is freestyling. Fucking Fred is going shit waves
Again.
on the keyboard, again, on the pads. And this is all at like 6 o'clock in the morning at a breakfast nook. So
nice.
It's fucking fantastic. Shout outs to music.
Fred again is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
A lot of his songs are the same, but they're different.
Yeah.
It's good
Again.
stuff.
Fucking thanks for watching the Joystick Show, episode 196. Fucking, I don't remember which one it is. Fucking
90.
96.
It's
There you
96.
go.
Yeah, it definitely.
No, I'm
96.
laughing because of a dumb inside joke that Jose and I have.
What's the dumb inside joke?
It's
Can you not say it?
Now share it with our
have you
comments.
ever been to Krispy Kreme?
Oh.
Was it crispy? Right. So fucking thank you for watching the Joystick Show. If you want to like and subscribe, you don't have to anymore because I don't know that.
Everyone clicked off. Yeah.
Don't worry, when Jose's on the podcast, that's like one of the first things we're talking about.
Oh, he's
I
saying
promise.
it. He's
He'll
saying
be here,
it.
I promise. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. Like I said, if this looks a little different next episode, that's on us to get a little more comfortable around the table. But the round table will still be here. We'll still be talking around it. And stay tuned next week when Dylan and I fucking mud wrestle live on the podcast. It's going to be fun. It's going to be dirty, a little slippery.
With Steve.
Fuck is Steve.